To install the engine brake, begin by removing the rocker lever cover and gasket. Remove the intake rocker lever mounting cap screw at cylinders 1 and 4. Install the engine brake intake oil supply adapters and torque to specification. Remove each of the exhaust rocker lever adjusting screw lock nuts and install the long adjusting screw lock nuts. Remove all 6 exhaust crossheads and replace them with the engine brake crosshead equipped with an actuator pin assembly. Although the ring installed on the assembly should hold the pin in place in the crosshead, take care not to drop the pin into the engine during assembly or disassembly. Remove the 6 exhaust rocker mounting cap screws, 1 per each cylinder. Replace them with exhaust mounting studs. Torque the studs to specification. Install the 6 engine brake mounting spacers in the pre-tapped holes in the exhaust side of the cylinder head. Torque the spacers to specification. Apply RTV to seal the mounting face between the rocker housing and the cylinder head. Install the rocker housing. Install the 5 mounting screws and torque to specification. The rocker housing must be installed within 15 minutes of applying the RTV for a good seal. The RTV should cure for 1 hour prior to starting the engine. At the intake mounting stud on cylinder number 1, lubricate the oil adapter and O-ring with clean engine oil. Install the brake on the overhead, making sure that the oil supply adapter at the intake mounting stud is fitted into the oil supply hole in the brake. Install the 3 mounting cap screws at the brake mounting spacers on the exhaust side of the engine. Hand tighten the cap screws. Do not torque the cap screws at this time. Turn the 3 adjusting sleeves, pre-assembled in the brake, to make contact with the exhaust mounting studs. Tighten the sleeves to specification. Adjusting the brake housing adjustable sleeves allows for the variable height of the rocker support and shaft tolerance stack-up. The adjustable sleeve requires minimal torque just so the sleeve is seated on the exhaust mounting studs and not putting excess stress on the brake housing. Loosen the 3 outer mounting cap screws in each engine brake assembly. Install the 3 mounting cap screws at the exhaust rocker mounting locations using flat washers between the cap screws and the brake spacer. Torque the 6 mounting cap screws to specification utilizing a crisscross pattern. Install the other brake assembly using the same procedure. Connect the internal and external solenoid harnesses. Install a spherical cap in the long adjusting screw lock nut for each cylinder. For the valves and engine brakes to function properly, the valve lash and the lash for the exhaust brake must be set. Begin the procedure by removing the fuel pump drive cover on the front of the engine. Bar the engine to align the mark on the fuel pump gear with the top dead center mark on the gear cover. With the engine in this position, the intake rocker levers for cylinders 1, 2, and 4 can be set. The exhaust rocker levers for cylinders 1, 3, and 5 can also be set at this position. For the intake rocker levers, insert the appropriate feeler gauge between the crosshead and the rocker lever ball insert and socket. Rotate the adjusting screw until the desired setting is obtained. Hold the adjusting screw in this position and tighten the lock nut. For the exhaust rocker levers, remove the spherical cap. Insert the appropriate feeler gauge between the crosshead and the rocker lever ball insert and socket. Using an Allen wrench, rotate the adjusting screw until the desired setting is obtained. Hold the adjusting screw in this position and tighten the lock nut. Replace the spherical cap. If the engine is equipped with engine brakes, the engine brake lash for cylinders 1, 3, and 5 is also set with the engine in this position. Insert the appropriate brake lash feeler gauge between the slave piston and pin in the exhaust crosshead. Torque the engine brake adjusting screw to 6 inch-pounds. Hold the adjusting screw in this position and tighten the lock nut. Bar the engine crankshaft 360 degrees so the fuel pump timing mark is at the 6 o'clock position. With the engine in this position, the intake rocker levers for cylinders 3, 5, and 6 can be set. The exhaust valve rocker levers and the engine brake lash for cylinders 2, 4, and 6 are also set at this position. Finally, install the rocker lever cover gasket and cover.